Chapter 511, Ludicrous. Either Xiaonan deliberated spoke to Elder Lin during the lesson to distract the latter so that he could not see her perform, or Xiaonan was bad-mouthing her to Elder Lin about that earlier blunder of hers. Xiaonan's behavior was really ungracious and petty. This would not do. She must not be influenced by Xiaonan. She had to not only continue with this lesson but also create a perfect ending. When Qiu Chenxi was in college, she was also considered a prominent figure. She had presided over the student union meetings before. However, this was different from giving a class. After Qiu Chenxi calmed down, she kept going and taught based on the contents of Xiaonan's lesson plan. She became less tensed up and gradually gained her momentum. As a result, Qiu Chenxi managed to cope with the class that lasted for more than 1 hour. When she saw the audience gradually being led on by her, Qiu Chenxi felt increasingly confident. All right, we'll stop here today. Class is over. I hope that I'll have the chance to stand here again. Qiu Chenxi secretly heaved a sigh of relief. She would definitely not let Xiaonan watch the fun. Unexpectedly, Comrade Qiu is quite good at teaching us too. She's not too far off from teacher Xiao Qiao. Yes, it's quite good. At the very least, I picked up all that she has taught. It's actually not that difficult to learn English. Next time, we don't need to worry or be afraid of embarrassing ourselves when we meet foreigners. Ha ha ha. You said it yourself that she's not that far off from teacher Xiao Qiao. Although not much, there's also a difference. Moreover, how old is teacher Xiao Qiao and how old is Comrade Qiu? It's as if you're saying a special force officer completed a mission and didn't perform too differently from a new recruit. Don't you think it's a joke? Do you feel that Comrade Qiu's teaching style bears some resemblance to that of teacher Xiao Qiao? Both seem quite relaxed. Are the kids nowadays so fortunate? All the teachers are so good. Why did I remember that when I was schooling, if I didn't do my homework or was unable to pick up what was taught, the teachers would either criticize or discipline us physically. Qianyanyan, who was standing at the back, heard these discussions. Her expression changed, one with pride and glory to one that looked guilty. What nonsense are you talking about? What resemblance can there be? Isn't it just teaching English? Of course the teaching methods are similar. It's just like undergoing archery training. Even if there are some variations in the teaching methods, the training contents are the same. It's unavoidable that there'll be similarities in the way that the instructors teach. That's not necessarily true. Some of the instructors have a unique way of imparting knowledge. They're not all the same. What do you all know? Do you know English or do you know how to teach others? You don't have any capability except for making thoughtless remarks. You all, excuse me, I'm going back. You're gossiping about others and standing in my way. So annoying. Could there be no resemblance? If she did not guess it wrong, Qiu Chenxi was teaching according to the lesson plans that she took from teacher Xiao Qiao. She did not listen to teacher Xiao Qiao's lesson yesterday. Nevertheless, today, after she heard Qiu Chenxi's class, she felt that learning English did not seem difficult at all. Was this teacher Xiao Qiao really quite capable? Even other people could sense that Qiu Chenxi's teaching style resembled that of Xiaonan, let alone Xiaonan herself. Initially, Xiaonan was puzzled that someone in the army would have that spare time and effort to steal that 50-cent book of hers. The book was filled with words and would be of no practical use to them. In the beginning, Xiaonan was only a little suspicious. Nevertheless, she felt that Qiu Chenxi would not do such a thing as she was considered the modern version of a rich man's daughter. However, Xiaonan's suspicions were all cleared during this class. She was very certain that, regardless of who took it, that lesson plan of hers had fallen into the hands of Qiu Chenxi. Xiaonan, what do you think? After Qiu Chenxi finished the class, she was extremely daring. She even deliberately walked to Xiaonan and looked at her complacently. She could deceive everyone but Xiaonan today. Yes, Xiaonan's lesson plan was in her hands. She was the one who got Jianyanyan to take it. What could Xiaonan do to her? She still had to be bullied by her, didn't she? If Xiaonan had abidingly given her the clues of that woman, she might be in a better mood and give her some advantages. Xiaonan could also benefit much from it. Today, she only took Xiaonan's lesson plan. However, if Xiaonan insisted to be at odds with her and help that woman bully her, it might not be so simple next time. If she could allow whoever that went against her to lead a good life, then that would be a miracle. You're a little more experienced than me. If there's something wrong with the contents of my lesson today, you have to give me more criticism. I'll definitely strive to improve it. After all, I do sincerely wish to do something for the army. Xiaonan was both angry and amused. Qiu Chenxi did something so disgusting and yet she deliberately came to her to boast about it. I don't have much criticism. It's just that Comrade Qiu may have left the campus for too long and you've lost familiarity with these things. There's a lot that you need to make changes to. Moreover, there are certain teaching momentums that require implicit understanding and cannot be imparted with words. I can't tell you clearly. Why don't you feel about and reflect on it yourself? I believe you can do whatever I can. She could only say that Qiu Chenxi was drawing a tiger using a cat as its model. Clearly, she followed her lesson plan, but she ruined the most exciting part of it. Certainly, there are a lot of things to improve on that can't be corrected overnight. Miao Jing was frowning. As a woman, how could she not feel that Qiu Chenxi was targeting Xiaonan? Nan, Auntie Miao still prefers attending your class. Tomorrow, you should continue to teach. Political Commissar, I feel that my lesson today was quite good. The comrades in the army seem to like my class too. Political Commissar, do you think I can continue to teach? Qiu Chenxi already did not hope that Miao Jing would help her and stand on her side. The political commissar tugged the dry corners of his mouth and smiled. Comrade Qiu, you still have other duties in the army. I feel that it's more meaningful if you fulfill your original responsibilities. Qiu Chenxi's teaching was not considered poor. Nevertheless, with the performance of Comrade Xiao Jiao yesterday, the political commissar felt that Qiu Chenxi lagged behind Xiaonan by more than just a little. This was the army and it was an official event that they formally launched. It was not a place for Qiu Chenxi to play her games. Comrade Qiu, do you still remember your original intention of coming to the army? I remember that you have very good intentions and you should continue with that. He did not expect Qiu Chenxi to help. He just hoped that Qiu Chenxi could give him less trouble. Didn't she see that the few leaders in the army were all gathered here, and she still had to be at odds with him? When she heard that everyone did not agree, Qiu Chenxi's face turned pale. She thus targeted Xiaonan. Chapter 512, Xiaonan's Retaliation. Xiaonan, we know each other so well. What do you say? Qiu Chenxi gave Xiaonan a fake smile. You are still so young and have just completed your examinations. I'm concerned that this will be very taxing for you. I want to relieve your stress. I'm sure you understand my good intentions. Xiaonan laughed. Good intentions? Could she just appreciate the good intentions without taking any actions? Nan, don't need to bother about others. What do you think? There was a look of displeasure in the corners of Zai Sheng's eyes. He gave Qiu Chenxi a cold stare. What Qiu Chenxi was thinking of did not matter. Nan's thoughts were the most important. Xiaonan lowered her eyelids. Her long, black, and thick eyelashes hid the radiance beneath her eyes. Do you really want me to speak my mind? Say it, Zai Yai replied. He gave Xiaonan courage. Xiaonan lifted her head and gave Zai Yai a glance. What show did Chief Zai want to watch? Zai narrowed his eyes and chuckled. You did not dare. Qiao Nan blinked her eyes once. Political Commissar, I have a suggestion. You can see if it works. Tell me about it. The political commissar wiped his sweat. He was in a dilemma. Would he have a say in this? Comrade Chu's good intentions are hard to come by. I can't not grant her wish. However, if I go against the initial well-meaning thoughts of the army when you invited my master and me here, it won't seem good too. Why don't we do this? I notice that there's more than one activity hall in the army camp. From tomorrow onward, we will open 2 classes. I will take one class and Comrade Chu the other. There are so many people in the army camp. Actually, it's also a concern that some people may not be able to listen that well if everyone crowds in the same place. I'm a lady and also very young. My voice is not loud enough. There'll definitely be people who can't hear me well. Moreover, as the space is limited, I believe many people did not have a chance to attend the class. If we can open 2 classes at the same time, we can accommodate more people. As we're carrying this out simultaneously, it will not affect the training schedule in the army too. When the time comes, they can just enter the activity hall to listen to whoever they prefer to. Didn't Chiu Chenexai want to compete with her? Didn't she wish to provoke her? All right, she would fulfill her wish. Since she wanted to have fun, then they would play a major game. She promised that Chiu Chenexai would feel satisfied and excited about it. I think that works. Lin Yuankong was the first to agree. He looked as if he did not mind watching the fun escalate. I think Nan Nan's suggestion is quite good. Let's do this. After all, everyone's teaching style is different. Not all the soldiers in the army can adjust to it. They can attend a class in which the teaching style matches their preference. It's more direct and simple this way. This idea is good. Good. I think this will work as well, Shi Peng replied smilingly. There had not been anything interesting happening in the army for a long time. Furthermore, this matter was due to 2 young ladies. So, this was the Qiao Nan that Ching Ching talked about often. She was quite good looking and also smart. Most importantly, just as what Ching Ching said, her temper was not considered extremely mild. If someone provoked her, she would reveal her claws. As a soldier, Shi Peng never liked a kind person who was easily bullied, or a tamed horse that was often ridden. As a human, one should have more courage and spine. Then, this matter has been decided. Zai Yawai was the last to agree. Political Commissar, arrange another activity hall and inform everyone in the army camp about this so that everyone is clear about it. Thereafter, put up proper signage at the activity hall to specify who the teacher is. Understand? Okay, Chief Zai. I'll arrange it immediately. That's fine. We'll settle for this then. It's already late. My old bones are tired out. I should sleep soon. Lin Yuankong, who clearly had not done anything except sitting by one side to watch the class, gave a tired yawn and requested someone to send him back to the dormitory. Chiu Chenexai, who completely lost her right to air her views since Jiao Nan spoke, looked at Shi Peng, her eyes full of injustice. This was her biological uncle. Why did he not help his niece at that critical juncture? She was nearly driven to the grave by anger. Chiu Chenexai gave a sigh. Brother Zai, it's already so late. Zai Shen, you're the one who sent Comrade Xiao Jiao back to the dormitory yesterday. Since it's already so late, you'll send her back again. Don't trouble others. Zai Yawai placed great emphasis on the last part of his sentence, as if he was implying someone had to take care of his own daughter-in-law. It was rare that Zai Sheng saw eye to eye with his father, Zai Yawai. Yes, Chief. Yes, 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 it's been so hard on Nan Nan. Quickly send Nan Nan back to rest. If Zai Sheng did not send Nan Nan, he would be pulled away by Chiu Chenexai soon. Uncle, it's already so late. Can you send me back? Qiu Chenxi had no choice. She could only let go of Zai Sheng and held on to Shi Peng, her biological uncle. When Shi Peng was not in the army, Qiu Chenxi could use his name and her identity as his niece to receive special treatment in the army. Now that Shi Peng was personally present, in principle, she could depend more on her uncle, Shi Peng, and receive more preferential treatment. In particular, when she was dealing with Jiaonan, she could not allow her uncle to favor an outsider instead of someone on his own side. Are you sure? Shi Peng's face that still looked sickly and pale turned serious as he looked at Qiu Chenxi. Qiu Chenxi nodded. Of course I'm sure. Uncle has been hospitalized for such a long time. I was too busy previously and did not visit you much. Hence, I wish to catch up with you. Then, let's go. Shi Peng did not decline further. Qiu Chenxi gave the political commissar a bow and then caught up with Shi Peng. Uncle, can you slow down a little? I can't catch up with you. Qiu Chenxi was perspiring as she ran after Shi Peng. She could not help calling out to stop him. Uncle, you should know what I'm thinking. Her uncle only had one niece. No matter what, it was only right for him to help her. Shi Peng paused in his steps and looked at Qiu Chenxi. Then, what about Ching Ching's thoughts? Are you aware? Qiu Chenxi was at a loss of words. But, clearly I was the one who got together with Brother Zai first. Brother Zai was hers. Shi Qing was even her relative. How could she be so shameless to fight with her for Brother Zai? Since you're already together with Zai Shen, then why do you still need my help? Instead of being angry, Shi Peng smiled. He shrewdly pointed out the contradictions in Qiu Chenxi's words. Yes, I separated with Brother Zai temporarily as we have some misunderstanding. As long as the misunderstanding is cleared, we'll still be together like before. Brother Zai and I have known each other for so many years. No one can compete with that. Uncle, we're relatives. Surely, you won't let Ching Ching double-cross me and take the opportunity to snatch her own brother-in-law, right? Qiu Chenxi sounded so bold and righteous. Anyway, everyone was in the wrong except her. Shi Peng did not understand Qiu Chenxi, but he knew his biological sister, Qiu Minlin, very well. Upon hearing Qiu Chenxi's words, Shi Peng confirmed that Qiu Chenxi was definitely Qi Minlin's daughter. There was no doubt about it. Since you've already said that, if I don't do anything, I will be letting you down as your uncle. Yesterday, the counselor came to the political commissar's office. At that time, a group of us was present. Chapter 513, Accept the Father-in-Law's Test. The counselor told us that Jiaonan lost her lesson plan. Tell me, how many people in the army will be interested in such a book that is full of words, and English words at that? Everyone had ears. In particular, as a soldier of the citizens, they might not have many other capabilities, but at the very least, they needed to be observant and alert. Even the older ones such as Shi Peng and Zai Yawai did not completely lose these skills. Hence, they had overheard those gossip and discussions amongst the soldiers from just now. A lesson plan was not something an ordinary soldier would want. Unfortunately, Qiu Chenxi was too obvious. Unless everyone was an idiot, they could guess it without much difficulty. Your uncle Zai has already ordered the political commissar and Zai Sheng to investigate this matter clearly. They will certainly not allow Comrade Xiao Qiao to suffer in silence or let someone break the rules in the army camp. What has this got to do with me? Qiu Chenxi felt so guilty that she was almost dumbfounded. She had thought that Jianyanyan was the only one who knew about this matter besides Jiaonan and herself. It's best if this has nothing to do with you. Do you still need me to send you back? Shi Peng could not be bothered to expose Qiu Chenxi's lies. He said all these to give Qiu Chenxi a kind reminder as he was her biological uncle. Qiu Chenxi forced a smile. No, no need. It's so late. Uncle, you've just been discharged for a few days. I should be the one sending you, not the other way round. I'll go back on my own. Uncle, did Brother Zai know that Jiaonan lost her lesson plan? What do you think? No, there's no other matter. Uncle, your health is not good. You should rest earlier. It's all right for me to go back on my own. Qiu Chenxi left in a hurry. After she returned to the dormitory, she shut the door tightly. She had predicted that Jiaonan would not dare to complain about her. She would not raise a big rumpus and overturn all horses and men in the camp for the sake of one book. Jiaonan was not so stupid. She would certainly not do that. However, she never expected that the female counselor would be such a busybody to poke her nose into other people's matters. Jiaonan, the main party concerned, did not utter a word. Why was the female counselor creating trouble? Now, Uncle Zai and Brother Zai knew about this matter. How was she going to settle it? If anyone discovered that Jiaonan's book was with her, then would she have to take the rap for Qianyanyan? Others would then accuse her of stealing? At the thought of these, Qiu Chenxi quickly took out Jiaonan's lesson plan and read everything once. Then, she quickly used a lighter to burn the book to ashes. She did not care how much she had remembered. It was only after she disposed of all the ashes that she had time to wipe away the sweat on her forehead. She then realized that she had broken out in a cold sweat. This was truly the first time in her life that Qiu Chenxi pilfered and did such an unethical thing. When she returned to the dormitory, Qiu Chenxi was so furious that she simply wanted to smash things. The vixen that was fighting with her for Brother Zai had not been found. Now, there was another problem, namely Jiaonan, who had to be at odds with her on everything. When she said that earlier, she was hoping that Brother Zai would send her back so as to create more opportunities for them to interact alone. But Uncle Zai actually asked Brother Zai to send Jiaonan back. Could it be that even Uncle Zai had changed his mind and forgotten his ties and relationship with her mother? Had he forgotten how much he owed her mother? This situation would not do. Qiu Chenxi bit the tip of her thumb nervously. One must know that Uncle Zai was the strongest pillar she could rely on to marry Brother Zai. If Uncle Zai was also not on her side, then the possibility of her marrying Brother Zai would be reduced further. Tomorrow, first thing in the morning, she had to make a phone call home immediately and tell her mother about this so that her mother could quickly think of a way to settle the problems related to Uncle Zai. Qiu Chenxi, who was guilty conscious, was scared out of her wits. On the other hand, Jiaonan and Zai Sheng's situation was more heartwarming. Brother Zai, I've been here for 2 days. Why didn't I see Brother Zhou? Do you wish to see him? Zai Sheng sounded jealous when he asked this. Nan, don't talk about other guys in front of me. Or maybe you have changed your mind and wish to marry me earlier. You should know my temperament. If you corner me, I can't be sure that I can keep my words and wait 2 years for you. Is this matter related to that? I was just asking a casual question. If you don't like to hear it, then I won't talk about it. Will that do? Jiaonan was sullen. Brother Zai, when I talked about Brother Zhou, were you really angry? Or did you just want to switch to the topic about us getting married earlier? You're no doubt a candidate for a soldier's wife. You do have these basic observation skills. Zai Sheng did not deny that he did have such intention. Nan. Qiu Chenxi was the one who took what you have lost, right? Just as Jiaonan felt more relaxed, Zai Sheng caught her off guard with this question. You've guessed it? But I don't have any evidence. After thinking about it, Jiaonan did not deny it. I'll settle this matter myself. Brother Zai, you don't need to intervene in this. It's not appropriate for you to do so. Qiu Chenxi just stole something that cost 50 cents from her. When an ordinary person heard about this, they would most probably think that she was making a mountain out of a molehill. It was just an item that cost 50 cents. Was there a need to kick up such a big fuss? In the bigger scheme of things, Chiuchenexai stole her lesson plan. There might even be people who could not differentiate right from wrong. They would see Chiuchenexai as someone who was enthusiastic to learn but was just too shy and timid, that she had used an incorrect means and thus making a small mistake. No matter what, if this matter was made known to many, besides losing some face, Chiuchenexai would not suffer any specific loss. How would Zai Sheng interfere in this matter? Would he steal Chiuchenexai's things because of 50 cents or put a spoke in her wheel? Either was inappropriate. It was too belittling of his status. Nan. Brother Zai, given Chiuchenexai's situation, when she knows I'm the woman she's looking for, she'll definitely create a fuss again. Most likely, she will not stop even after we are married. Will you be able to protect me 365 days a year and 24 hours a day, shielding me from her and resolving all the trouble she created? I think this may be one of the reasons why Chief Zai and Auntie Miao are not willing to agree to our relationship. Brother Zai, given your status, you're someone who is destined for big things. You should focus your efforts and energy on the army and protecting the country. If I really can't handle such a small matter properly, will you still dare to let me marry you as a soldier's wife? There's never a daughter amongst the soldiers' wives. One daughter is a plant that needs to rely on other plants for survival. Zai Sheng was stunned by Jiaonan's firm attitude and tone. He then smiled. Nan, you're really sure that you want to become a soldier's wife and are willing to accept all the challenges? I'm certain of it. I feel that Chiuchenexai's matter is an opportunity for me to perform in front of Chief Zai. Chapter 514, Accepting the Leader's Test. Jiaonan analyzed the issue at hand calmly. Brother Zai, I'm not stupid. Although I don't live in that social circle of yours, I do understand some matters after thinking about it carefully. Given the family situation of the Zai family, you don't need in-laws that can bring honor to your family. You need a daughter-in-law who has the capability and who is able to handle major occasions. I feel that Chief Zai's attitude toward me recently has changed quite a lot. This time, especially, he knew that I was opposing Chiuchenexai, but he agreed. You're very rational in your analysis. It makes sense. Zai Sheng's eyes, as dark as a meteorite, was filled with so much love as he looked deeply at Jiaonan. Continue. Jiaonan continued to say, so, I think if I'm more capable than Chiuchenexai, even if my birth status is not perfect, Chief Zai may not mind. To put it bluntly, if Chief Zai only looks at one's family background, then Auntie Miao. Even if old Master Zai tried all ways and means to convince him, Chief Zai would not marry Auntie Miao. Was his own future or his biological father's one-time happiness more important? Furthermore, the situation of the Zai family had not reached its current peak at that time. As compared to Brother Zai, Chief Zai needed to give more consideration regarding her wife's family background. Was he to marry back then? Nevertheless, didn't Chief Zai still marry Auntie Miao eventually and even raise Brother Zai and Sister Zai Hua together? Jiaonan smiled, looking a little embarrassed. Brother Zai, actually, I feel that Chief Zai is not someone that's so power-hungry. At least, he was unlike others, like Chiuchenexai, who was so driven by money and power, and only cared about status and wealth, not their characters. I agree with this point. Zai Sheng took a deep breath and held Jiaonan's hands. He then walked toward Jiaonan's dormitory. In the past, he had been worried that Nan was young, that she had not fully matured, personality-wise. Even if she knew, she only knew a little. But at this juncture, he finally understood that Nan did not give less than him in this relationship. He should not have been so worried because of Nan's age. The woman that he had taken a liking to was indeed different. Even if she was so young, her thinking was so much more mature than those typical people of her age. At the sight of the young and tender-faced Jiaonan, who had such a mature and stable personality, there was an upsurge of emotions in Zai Sheng's heart. It was as if there was an uncontrollable flood flowing out from his heart. Brother Zai, Qiaonan wanted to take back her hands. There are so many people moving about in this camp. How do you intend to explain to Auntie Miao if someone sees us? Auntie Miao was the number one problem. Wasn't Brother Zai worried at all when he did this? Don't worry about my mom. You should prepare for tomorrow's lesson properly. Don't be too nervous. You have settled my dad. Of course, I'll be the one settling my mom. He was never a man that would push all the responsibilities to a woman. This matter involved the two of them. It was only right that they worked hard together to resolve this matter. Don't. Qiaonan shook her head vigorously. Brother Zai, there's a saying that doesn't sound very nice. Don't blame me for saying it. I believe that you will understand Auntie Miao's thoughts better after you hear this. What saying? The mother-in-law spent 5 years to teach her son how to wear his pants, but the daughter-in-law only used less than 5 seconds to make his son take off the pants. At the end of her speech, Qiaonan's face turned red. Brother Zai, don't look at me in this way. Do you think this makes sense? Zai Sheng was perplexed when he looked at Qiaonan. The words are rough but not the reasoning behind it. Also, Nan, who said this to you? If that person is a male, then he's playing rogue. I heard it from somewhere. Didn't many people say this? Many? Why am I hearing this for the first time? Qiaonan was speechless as she questioned heaven in her heart. Brother Zai, we're talking about Auntie Miao. Auntie Miao is jealous. Do you understand? I have to be the one to disentangle the knot in her heart. Otherwise, both of us will hurt Auntie Miao. If I resolve this problem in a rational way. You may not need to resolve this problem yourself. His father was not a problem. If his mother also agreed, then, he no longer needed to wait for 2 years to submit that marriage report. He and Nan could completely get engaged first. They would then marry officially and collect the marriage certificate when Nan reached the legal age. The three of you have been convincing Auntie Miao in a rational way for so many years. Why had Auntie Miao been so firm that Chiu Chenxai was her daughter-in-law to be? If your rational ways were so useful, Chiu Chenxai and you would have been together for 100 years. Qiaonan expressed that she completely did not trust the rational analysis that Zai Sheng adopted. What if the situation turns out unexpectedly in a bad way? That'd be depressing then. Brother Zai, don't be anxious. Can we take it a step at a time? If you keep forcing me, I'll have to tell my master that I'm going home. I came here to give you all English lessons. Why should I give you the chance to force me? Qiaonan stomped her feet in fury. Don't think that she could not tell what Brother Zai's thoughts were. She was very smart and not easy to lie to. Zai Sheng sighed as he looked at the sky full of stars. Nan, I'm a soldier. I don't like to do things under the carpet. When are you going to let me see the sun? Tomorrow, in another 10 hours, you will be able to see the rising sun, Comrade Zai Sheng. I hope that the sunlight can drive the gloom away from your heart, Qiaonan replied in a serious tone. Was it not easy to see the sun? As long as it was not raining, Brother Zai would be able to see the sun every day. After sending Qiaonan to the dormitory, Zai Sheng then went back to his own place. When Zai Sheng arrived, Zai Yawai had already drunk half a cup of freshly brewed tea. You're back. Did Qiaonan, that child, tell you anything? She said that she will accept the challenge given to her by the organization leader. Zai Sheng unbuttoned the collar of his shirt. He then prepared a basin of cold water so that he could bathe. Who wants to give her a challenge? Zai Yawai snorted lightly and refused to admit. Zai Sheng turned and took a glance at Zai Yawai, who refused to speak the truth from his heart. All right, Dad, there's no one else here. Why are you pretending? Even Nan Nan can tell what's happening. Do you think you can bluff me? Zai put down his cup of tea. I've already given you the opportunity. It's up to you whether you can grab it. Let me remind you. Don't behave too arrogantly. You have not passed the hurdle at your mom's end. Even if I agree to this, if you can't take care of the problem at your mom's side, this matter will not do. Zai Sheng, you have to remember that you only have one mom. Understand? If Zai Sheng angered Meow Meow for the sake of a woman, he would definitely break Zai Sheng's leg. Understood? Zai Sheng sneered. I can only blame myself for being your son. There's a saying that the son will pay for the father's sin. I have to clean up the mess that you've created. Nan Nan and I are united as a couple. Of course, she has to help me clean up your mess. Nan Nan is very good to Mom. She hopes that on the day of the wedding, Mom will be a happy mother-in-law as she watches her daughter-in-law marrying into the family. Chapter 515, Teacher Xiaoqiao. In the future, if Nan Nan and I resolve the problem that you have caused, how are you going to treat Nan Nan? You should think over this matter and don't repay kindness with ingratitude. After finishing his shower, Zai Sheng poured away the water. Dad, it's already so late. You're not going back. He was going to sleep. Zai Yai had a strange look on his face. It was as if he had choked himself after gulping some dumplings. Why can't I stay here? I'm sleeping here today, can't I? I'll sleep on the lower bunk and you the upper bunk. As Zai Sheng was not married, he did not apply for a suite room. He was still staying in a room with bunk beds. It was just that Zai Sheng was the only one staying in the place. Zai Sheng's face turned stiff. I've really not slept with any of my elders from a young age. Dad, are you making up for my childhood regrets? Thank you. Regarding this, you can leave it to Nan Nan and my son in the future. As for his daughter, he would not let her bunk in with his father. You've also seen it? There are only the upper and lower bunks. There's nothing on the upper bunk bed. What's wrong with Mom and you again? You've been sleeping in the study room at home. Now, you're coming to my place to sleep. Since you're having arguments with Mom. Comrade Zai Yai, please settle your problems as a couple and don't cause inconvenience to others. Understand? Others. Who are you to your mom and me? When did you become someone else? When did I have any conflict with your mom? Don't sprout nonsense. Can't you hope that I'll reconcile with your mom? Zai Yai would not concede defeat. He did not believe that as a father, he could not subdue his son. Zai Sheng laughed. He then swiftly rolled out a straw mat on the upper bunk. I've been hoping that you will reconcile with Mom. The outcome is that you have to sleep at my place. This is a treatment that I've never received since I was a child. Fortunately, it's summertime now and only a straw mat is needed. Tell me, if it's winter time and you're going to bunk in with me, where am I going to get a mattress and blanket in the middle of the night? After shooting Zai Yai with these words, Zai Sheng swiftly flipped up to the upper bunk bed, wore his clothes, and fell asleep. This young brat, switch off the lights. Zai Yai's face turned blacker. Zai Sheng only knew how to take a shower himself. Could he not help him to get a basin of water so that he could wash his face? At the thought that Zai Hua would also be as crude and careless as Zai Sheng, Zai Yai felt even more depressed. Didn't he and Meow Meow give birth to a son and a daughter? Why did it seemingly turn out that he had two sons instead? Zai Sheng had already closed his eyes but he opened it helplessly. He did not argue with Zai Yai. Instead, he took out a 50-cent coin from his pocket and threw it at the light switch. The lights were switched off with a bang. When he heard Zai Yai lying down, Zai Sheng leaned over and lowered his head. He was able to see Zai Yai in the moonlight. Dad, speaking of it, how did you provoke Mom again this time? You've been chased out by Mom again. You have to know. This is the army camp. The response that Zai Sheng received from Zai Yai was not his words but a flying pillow. It was directly aimed at Zai Sheng's face. Zai Sheng reached out and caught it. It must be because of Qiu Chenxi again. But thanks for the pillow. Having said that, Zai Sheng placed the pillow under his head and expressed that he finally felt comfortable. He could really fall asleep now. Zai Yai's breath skipped a beat. He was both angry and amused. This young brat. He purposely agitated him so that he would fling his pillow to him. He even wanted to plot against him for a pillow. He did not know anything about respect for elders and love for the young at all. Teacher Xiaojiao, why did you wake up so early today? When the female counselor woke up, Qiaonan was already dressed up. It's only 6 o'clock. I slept early yesterday so I woke up early. I'm going to the field to jog 2 rounds first. Take your time. The air in the mountains was very fresh early in the morning. It was extremely good and there were many negative ions. Qiaonan took a few deep breaths. She felt so good and comfortable, as if her lungs had been cleansed. Teacher Xiaojiao. Good morning, Teacher Xiaojiao. Teacher Xiaojiao, you're also jogging. The people in the army were quite affectionate. Although Qiaonan only taught them 1 class, all of those who still remembered her addressed her as Teacher Xiaojiao. Good morning, everyone. As Qiaonan jogged, she responded with a smiling face. After jogging for a few rounds, it was almost 7 o'clock when Qianyanyan saw what was happening as she helped Qiu Chenxi get breakfast. With the porridge and dishes in her hands, Qianyanyan returned to the dormitory at her fastest speed. Qiu Chenxi, do you know who I saw this morning? Who? Qiu Chenxi, who had not slept for 1 night, asked listlessly. Her eyes were red and there were dark circles below her eyes. Who else could it be but that high school student? She only taught 1 class but she really thinks that she's a teacher. She has been jogging in the camp since early in the morning. She's so proud now. Everyone who met her called her Teacher Xiaojiao. I don't understand. Why is she so thick-skinned? She didn't even feel embarrassed when she acknowledged the greetings. There is an old saying, once a teacher, always a father. If those people are willing to call Qiaonan mother, I'm sure Qiaonan will also be thick-skinned enough to respond to them, let alone calling her as a teacher, Qiu Chenxi said in agitation. All right, I've not slept for the whole night. I'm having a headache. Don't disturb me. Let me quiet down. Qianyanyan took a mouthful of porridge. She completely did not understand what Qiu Chenxi was nervous about. I've brought porridge and dishes back for you. Qiu Chenxi, you're really odd. Didn't you do well last night? So what if they open 2 classes at the same time? What do you have to be afraid of? You actually didn't sleep for the whole night to prepare for the class. Isn't that a little exaggerating? Qiu Chenxi, are you worried that you can't win against that high school student? I don't think so, right? One was a senior high school student and the other was a college graduate. Between these 2, was there a need to compete? What do you know? I'm serious about teaching well and being responsible for my own work as well as to the comrades in the army. That's why I am doing my best. What has this got to do with Qiaonan? Qiu Chenxi refused to admit. If you're not afraid that you would lose to that senior high school student, why did you have to ask me to take that thing written by her? Qianyanyan was a little greedy but she was not stupid. She was able to make sense of the situation. Qiu Chenxi's expression changed greatly. She quickly closed the door of the room. Let me warn you. If you mention this again, I can't protect you if anything happens. Qianyanyan was stunned. What do you mean? What do you mean if anything happens? What happened? Qiaonan told the political commissar that she lost her book. Political commissar said that this matter must be investigated. You also know the rules in the army. Tell me, if anyone finds out, can you still continue to remain in the army? Chiu Chenxai intentionally did not make herself clear. She made it sound as if Qiaonan lodged a complaint and directed all of Qianyanyan's hatred toward Qiaonan. As expected, Qianyanyan jumped in shock. What? That high school student is really too petty. She's Elder Lin's disciple and should be very wealthy. She actually complained to the political commissar just because of a 50-cent book. Isn't this person too much? Why is she so shameless? Chapter 516, Out of Her Mind. Chiu Chenxai tried to suppress the slight curl of her lips. So you must keep a low profile. You should not go around telling everyone about that. After all, you did that in order to help me. I will definitely keep it a secret for you. However, if you go around telling everyone and are seen by others, there's nothing that I can do. If the political commissar really wants to punish you, there's no way that I can stop him. You can rest assured that I won't do it again. I promise I will not tell anyone about this. I must be down on my luck. The notebook is only worth 50 cents, yet a high school student lodged a complaint against me. It is no wonder that the elderly always say that the richer one is, the stingier one is. She complained to the political commissar because of such a small amount of money. She is too annoying, a bully. Qianyanyan was angry and in a panic. She was afraid that what she did would be found out and by then, she would be ruined. The soldiers in the army, especially military performers like her, once they had any black record, they could no longer stay in the army and would be transferred away. The high school student wanted to ruin her life for the sake of a 50-cent notebook. All right, you should go back to your dormitory. I have to prepare for the lessons. Okay, it will not be good if others discover that I am always at your place. By the way, Chiu Chenxai, that notebook, Qianyanyan was not at ease. She would not tell others about it, but what if Chiu Chenxai had a slip of the tongue? Don't worry. I am your good friend. I won't harm you. I have already burnt that thing. Otherwise, I won't stay through the night to prepare for lessons tonight, Chiu Chenxai said with concern. As soon as I heard about the news, the first thing that I did when I came back last night was to get rid of the evidence. Without that notebook, I have to work hard and prepare for the class. I see. Chiu Chenxai, you are very kind to me. I am sure that you will handle the matter well. I will go back first. Next time, if you need help, you must look for me. Qianyanyan was moved. Initially, she thought that Chiu Chenxai did not sleep for a night as she was afraid of losing to the high school student. She did not expect that she did all that for her sake. That's right, we are good friends. Of course, I have to help you. You should go back now. Tonight, you must come to my class and cheer for me. You must cooperate with me. Don't worry. Not only will I attend your lesson, but I will also bring my good friends with me. I will find a way to get more people to join your class. You must remember to dress up. Yesterday, you were very well dressed. A lot of the soldiers stared at you. Chiu Chenxai, who got her wishes, was all smiles. What nonsense are you talking about? I am there to teach. Why should I dress up? You're wrong. There are more male soldiers than female soldiers in the army. It's natural for men to look at women. If you dress up beautifully, you will definitely attract more attention. The high school student overrated her own abilities. She can never be compared to you. You must not be modest. You should use whatever methods that you have. Okay, thank you for your concern. I know what to do. Chiu Chenxai's eyes sparkled. In fact, she already had this idea in mind even before Qianyanyan mentioned it. From what Qiaonan said yesterday, she was obviously out to challenge her. Usually, she had no need to bother with Qiaonan's taunting. But last night, Many influential and powerful people were present. Uncle Zai and his family were there as well. If she did not accept the challenge or lose to Qiaonan, she would never be able to hold her head high in front of the Zai family. She would be ridiculed for her entire life. Therefore, she must face Qiaonan head-on and make sure that she suffered a crushing defeat. Teacher Xiaojiao, why are you still here? You should go out and have a look. Qiaonan was doing her summer homework when she was dragged out of the female dormitory by the female counselor. What am I supposed to look at? Qiaonan blinked in confusion at the uniformed soldiers who were training. What do you want me to look at? There, over there. The female counselor pointed her finger toward a certain direction. Qiaonan looked in that direction and finally understood what the female counselor meant. Qiu Chenxai wore a dignified long skirt yesterday. Her legs and neck all covered up. But today, Qiu Chenxai was dressed differently. She wore a one-piece dress that came to her knees, exposing her calves. What surprised Qiaonan the most was that Qiu Chenxai's dress was worn like a vest, sleeveless. Qiu Chenxai paid attention to taking care of her skin and she did not like to be under the sun. Hence, she looked especially fair and tender. Among the soldiers who were tanned from the sun and were in their uniforms, the way Qiu Chenxai dressed was simply stunning, catching the attention of all the soldiers. Not to mention the male soldiers, even Qiaonan could not help but look admiringly at Qiu Chenxai's fair arms and slender legs. It was indeed very eye-catching. The soldiers in the army rarely got to see women who were dressed up so beautifully. The sight of Qiu Chenxai got their blood racing. They could not help but keep staring at Qiu Chenxai. It took a lot of willpower for them not to make catcalls. Qiu Chenxai must be out of her mind. Why will she dress in such a manner? Qiaonan looked stunned. She suspected that Qiu Chenxai must be crazy to wear such clothes in the army camp. Even if Qiu Chenxai was only here for a visit, her attire was way too much. Moreover, she would be staying in the army for a certain period of time. In the army, the dressing requirements for women were much stricter than that in school. The female counselor was exasperated. I have no idea what's going on. She is really. I am too embarrassed to bring myself to say it. As a woman, I feel embarrassed for her. She should dress according to the circumstances. Even though there are not many female soldiers in our army, what she did set a bad example for them. If all of the female soldiers are dressed up in such a manner, this is really. I heard that Qiu Chenxai is the offspring of cotters. Is this how she should behave? Counselor, don't be angry. I suppose someone will report to the political commissar. Qiaonan was speechless at Qiu Chenxai's behavior. She did not understand why Qiu Chenxai dressed in such a manner. Was she not afraid that she would invite gossip? However, when it was time for class at night, judging from the number of students in the different classrooms, Qiaonan finally understood the reason why Qiu Chenxai did that. Chapter 517, Our Inner Beauty. There were a lot of soldiers in the army camp. Previously, when there was only one class, Qiaonan had witnessed how crowded it could be, especially when it was Qiu Chenxai's turn to conduct the lessons last night. It was especially crowded as well. The number of soldiers in her classroom was not even half of the total number of soldiers in the army camp. Looking at this sight, Qiaonan smiled in exasperation. It's no wonder that Brother Zai said that I haven't grown up. I am, indeed, young and neglected that at this age, guys are under the influence of their hormones. They are not rational at all. She was just a frail and thin-looking young girl. She could not compare to Qiu Chenxai, who was mature and knew how to dress. Since both of them were conducting English classes, now that they were given a choice, they would naturally choose to go to Qiu Chenxai's class on account of her looks and attire. She might have wanted to take advantage of this opportunity to challenge Qiu Chenxai and to prove herself to Chief Zai, but Qiu Chenxai was not to be meddled with. She even resorted to such methods. There was nothing that Jiaonan could say. Teacher Xiao, are you angry? The number of soldiers that turned up was about 30 to 40. They could not help but ask her tentatively. In fact, they felt that their comrades were too much. It was obvious that teacher Xiao was a better teacher, but they all went to Comrade Chiu's class. They were too foolish. Of course not. Why should I be angry? Jiaonan gave a brilliant smile. I am not angry. Instead, I am very happy. I have all of you here with me. You have proven that I have an outstanding and good character. The soldiers were perplexed. What did teacher Xiao mean by that? As we all know, people will always look forward to beautiful and nice-looking things. There are two types of beauty. One is external beauty, and the other is inner beauty. As the name suggests, one can easily appreciate external beauty using their eyes. In other words, it is too easy to discover external beauty. On the contrary, it is not easy to discover inner beauty, but it is even more commendable. All of you have chosen not to go for external beauty but to join my class. This proves that it is my inner beauty that attracted you to my class. All of you here are just like what Chairman Mao had mentioned, the public with discerning eyes. Ha ha ha. Like what happened last time, as soon as Jiaonan spoke up, the slightly awkward atmosphere gradually became harmonious. In fact, before Jiaonan started her lessons, the soldiers in her class felt awkward and tentative. Some of the soldiers were in her class as they felt that she was a better teacher as compared to Chiu Chenxi and wanted to learn from her, while some of the soldiers were there for another reason. The people in the army were simple and innocent. They felt that it would not be good for Jiaonan if everyone attended Chiu Chenxi's class instead of Jiaonan's class. Therefore, several of the soldiers decided to make the decision through a finger-guessing game. The winners would join Chiu Chenxi's class to have a good look, while the losers would join Jiaonan's class to maintain her dignity. They were worried that Jiaonan would not be able to take it if there were not many students in her class and that she would break out in tears in front of them. They did not expect that not only was Jiaonan not angry, but she was in high spirits and made a good and meaningful speech instead. Everyone loved to listen to compliments. Even those who felt unhappy at losing the finger-guessing game, they were happy at Jiaonan's compliments. That was right. Like what teacher Xiao said, they placed more importance on inner beauty and they were people who had substance. I am proud of my inner beauty, and I am proud of all of you who are not superficial. As a soldier, you should have this kind of ability and foresight to see through the external appearance and look at one's inner self. I applaud all of you. Please give yourself a round of applause. There was a big round of applause. After Jiaonan finished her short speech, there was a burst of thunderous applause from the soldiers. The atmosphere was, in fact, better than the classroom next to them that was filled with people. Chiu Chenxi, who had already started her lesson, was twice interrupted by the sound of the applause. Her expression darkened at the disruption. Since there are not too many of you in the class, in fact, it was fewer than the supposed capacity of one class, let's not waste our time. All of you can come up to the stage and form 4 rows. Jiaonan got the attention of the soldiers and started her class. Forming platoons was the most familiar thing to the soldiers. It only took a word from Jiaonan and the soldiers used the fastest speed to form the rows according to their heights. In less than a minute, there were 4 neat rows in front of Jiaonan. Do you remember what Comrade Chiu taught you yesterday? It seems to be left and right. But how do you say it in English? I can't remember. During yesterday's class, they felt that Chiu Chenxi was doing a fairly good job. However, after the lesson, they could not remember what she taught them. They only remembered the meanings in Chinese. Jiaonan was not surprised. Since she did not teach the basics like pronunciation and alphabet, it was natural for the soldiers to forget how to pronounce the words. It's not bad. Everyone still remembers what was taught yesterday. It's very good. Since you don't remember how to pronounce it, let's revise it again. Left is the left-hand side. If we add another word to it, it will be a short phrase. Turn left. Make a guess on what it means. This phrase is related to all of you. You should be very familiar with it. This is what you have to practice every day. Think about it. After the hints given by Xiaonan, someone raised his hand. Reporting to teacher Xiao Qiao. Go ahead. Does it mean to turn left? Since it was related and very familiar to them, this was the only meaning that he could think of. Good. It means to turn left. Xiaonan gave a thumbs up to the soldier. All of you must be very familiar with this. Can you do it with your eyes closed? Next, I will give the command and all of you will follow. Turn left. After knowing the meaning of turn left, the soldiers could understand Xiaonan's commands even though she spoke in English. At Xiaonan's command, everyone turned left according to the 1, 2 rhythm. Xiaonan made the soldiers turn left for 8 times, making a total of 2 rounds. After we learn what is left, we will learn the other direction. Right is to the right-hand side. So, what does turn right mean? Does everyone understand? Understood. Good. Now listen to my command. Turn right. Xiaonan used the same method to get the soldiers to turn 8 times in the opposite direction and made a total of 2 rounds. When you practice to line up, what else do you practice apart from turning to the right and to the left? Reporting to the teacher, there is turning backward as well. Chapter 518, V with each other for talent. Right, turn back is to turn backward. This time, there was no need for Xiaonan to explain. All of them understood right away and acted according to her commands. It was as if they were going through military training. They were humble and respectful toward her. Xiaonan only made them turn backward 4 times, 2 rounds in total. Now that all of you are already familiar with turning left, turning right, and turning backward, next, I won't use Chinese. I will only say it in English. We will go according to what we practiced just now. Let's see who will end up in the wrong direction, going face to face with each other, making the mistakes that not even new recruits will make. They had to keep up with Xiaonan's fast pace. As soon as they learned the phrases, they had to put them into practice right away. Xiaonan used the same teaching method that Zai Shen used on her and she taught them whatever that she learned from him. Although they had practiced for a few times, when the 3 phrases were used together, some of them were still confused and ended up in an embarrassing situation, coming face to face with each other. But because of the mistakes that they made, it left a deeper impression on them. In no time, nobody made any more mistakes. In the beginning, they only practiced turning in 3 directions. Xiaonan then changed her commands all of a sudden. Turn back, start, 121, 121. The soldiers could not understand what start meant, but when they heard 121, their bodies reacted automatically to it and they started marching forward. Halt. 12. The soldiers were not too sure of the meaning, but they made guesses and came to a stop. Turn back. 12. The person in the first row, come forward. Yes. The soldier stepped out in a firm and powerful stride. As soon as he went forward, the rest of the group rearranged to form an orderly group. Next, you will lead the rest to do the revision, in English. Do you remember them? Remember. Start. Wait, reporting to teacher. Go ahead. How do we say 121 in English? The soldier wanted to strive for excellence. He did not wish to mix English with Chinese. 1, 2, 1. Oh, 1 1, 2 1, 1 1. Easy. Thank you, teacher. At first, the practice was full of mistakes, but after everyone had a few rounds of practice, the atmosphere got better and all of the soldiers cooperated well with each other. How's my little disciple doing? Lin Yuankang, who stood out of Qiaonan's sight, looked as proud as a rooster. He held his head high. There was an air of pride and arrogance about him. Elder Lin has taught well. It took a while before Zai Yaowai made this comment. Qi Minlin was educated and cultured. She was young, pretty, and open-minded. Why did she fail in teaching her daughter? On the contrary, Elder Lin might be old, but he was good at choosing people. His disciples were one better than the other. It was less than 2 years since Elder Lin took Qiaonan as his last disciple. Besides, Qiaonan was a student. She had to go to school every day, do her assignments, and prepare for exams. In other words, there was not much time for Qiaonan to learn from Elder Lin. Thinking of the clothes that Qiu Chenxi wore today and the underhanded method that she used, as a soldier who was righteous and just, Zai Yaowai could not agree with Qiu Chenxi's shameless behavior today. If Qiu Chenxi really wanted to defeat Qiaonan, she should do it openly and above board, not to use such underhanded methods that were borderline indecent. Zai Yaowai found it embarrassing to bring himself to say that. Luckily, Zai Sheng did not like Qiu Chenxi. Her political stance was not firm, and there was a problem with her character. If she married into the Zai family, sooner or later, the Zai family would be everyone's laughingstock. On the contrary, Qiaonan was not flattering with her words and her actions were louder than words. It seemed like Qiu Chenxi's way of thinking was fundamentally wrong. Otherwise, she would have self-respect and would not come up with such indecent methods. Okay, we did some revision and learned some new words today. Everyone's learning ability is exceptionally good. We have finished today's lesson ahead of schedule. Even though time is not up yet, let's call it a day. After a day of training, all of you still have to learn English. You must be tired. You should go back to have a good rest so that you can cope with tomorrow's training. End of class. Goodbye, teacher. Everyone was in high spirits. They did not feel tired or sleepy. Besides, teacher Xiao Jiao was indeed bold and liberated. Since all knowledge points were already covered, she ended the lesson before the scheduled time. They must give her the utmost support. Those people who were secretly observing the lesson were stunned that Qiaonan ended the class before the scheduled time. The political commissar received Zai Yaowai's consent and was the first to come out. Comrade Xiao Jiao, you have worked hard today. You have done an excellent job. Thank you very much. Qiaonan was flattered. Political commissar is too polite. It's not tiring at all. She had to thank Qiu Chenxi for that. Though Qiu Chenxi read through her lesson plans, she did not understand them and did not use them well. But aside from that, she also had to thank her for taking away a large number of students with her. In her lesson plans, under the part where she planned the classroom exercises, she only wrote down interaction. She did not go into the details. If there were too many students in the class, she could only get them to stand up and practice turning toward 3 directions in the small space. However, there were not many students today, and there was a lot of space on the stage. It was big enough to accommodate 30 to 40 students. As such, the students could have more interactive and hands-on learning. She had to thank Qiu Chenxi for this. If not for her, she would not be able to use such teaching methods. There was no way that they could march forward or halt. It was impossible. In any case, thank you. Comrade Xiao Jiao, you have put in a lot of effort. The political commissar could tell that though the 2 classes were of the same contents, the 2 different teachers had made the lessons to be vastly different. Aside from being shrewd, he had taken extra effort to observe the differences between the 2 classes. Comrade Xiao Jiao was invited by their army, yet Qiu Chenxi came at this time to make trouble for her. On top of that, something so embarrassing happened in the army camp today. However, Comrade Xiao Jiao did not lose her temper or felt wronged. Instead, she prepared for her lessons conscientiously and conducted the lesson to the best of her ability. Such attitudes were definitely worthy of respect and praise. Comrade Xiaojiao, are you interested in joining our army? It was a pity that people like her with such revolutionary quality did not join their army as a soldier. According to what he understood, Comrade Xiaojiao had very good living habits. She went to bed early and woke up early. She would then run around the field early in the morning, doing quite a lot of exercises. Even if her physical condition might not meet the entry requirements for the army, she could work on her stamina first. By the time she was fit enough to join, she could be officially enlisted into the army. He was unwilling to let go of such rare talent. Footnotes. Ch 518 Footnote 1. Wang phonetically sounds like one. Ch 518 Footnote 2. 2 phonetically sounds like two. Ch 518 Footnote 3. Wang phonetically sounds like one. Chapter 519, Failed to get the talent. What are you doing? Are you vying with me for talent? Lin Yuankang was enraged when he heard the political commissar's words. He had intended for his little disciple to follow in his footsteps and work in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. He had already sourced out a good position for her. The political commissar wanted to be with him for talent? No way. She is my disciple. She will definitely not join the army in the future. Don't think about it. Lin Yuankang pulled Xiaonan behind him. You should know that she is frail and feeble. It is sheer torture for her to join the army. Elder Lin, you can't say this. Just because Comrade Xiaojiao's physical ability is not as good, all the more she should join the army to train and build up her stamina. The political commissar was not convinced. After listening to what Elder Lin said, he felt that it was the best decision for Comrade Xiaojiao to join the army. Train to be like him. Lin Yuankang pointed disdainfully at Zai Sheng. The political commissar sized up Zai Sheng, who was more than 1.85 meters tall. He looked at his athletic build and his large frame, growing silent. He paused for a while before saying, I didn't say that all soldiers will be trained to be like him. We have female soldiers in the army as well. Will that do? They will undergo moderate training. The political commissar did not know that there was another kind of person in the world who was called the muscle babe. But when Lin Yuankang used Zai Sheng as a comparison, he could never imagine Xiaonan having his build. That image was way beyond one's imagination. All right, say no more. I won't agree to it. Lin Yuankang snorted. The political commissar seemed to be at loggerheads with Lin Yuankang. It doesn't matter if you don't agree. We have to respect Comrade Xiaojiao's own wishes, don't we? The 21st century is coming. We can't make decisions for the juniors based on the old feudal ideas. Comrade Xiaojiao, what are your views? Lin Yuankang made no concession. Nan, tell me, will you listen to me or him? Xiaonan, who was sandwiched between the two of them, was speechless. I am about to advance to the second year of high school. I prefer to study. Being a soldier was her dream in the previous life. In this life, she only wanted to finish her studies first. Did you hear that? She wants to study first. Lin Yuankang was happy. His little disciple had maintained his dignity. As long as his disciple continued with her studies, sooner or later, she would follow in his footsteps. No, Comrade Xiaojiao, do you want to reconsider? I remember that you told me that your father was also a soldier. Comrade Xiaojiao should have more affection for the army. Lin Yuankang rebutted. If it wasn't for the fact that her father had been a soldier, do you think that she would be here, at this barren land? All right, it's getting late. Stop disturbing my disciple from her rest. She still has to give lessons tomorrow. Look at the people in your army. There are so many of them who focus on external beauty. I feel ashamed for you. At the mention of the situation just now, Lin Yuankang boiled in anger. He never expected that people in the army would be focused on looks and neglected real abilities. It was such a shame. Lin Yuankang might be rude to the political commissar, but in fact, he had been very polite. He had a lot of complaints that he kept to himself. Nobody expected that through what happened between Qiu Chenxi and Xiao Nan, it was revealed that the people in the army placed such importance on looks, and not on real talents. If it was 30 years ago, the small island nation only needed to send a beautiful woman here and these fools would easily betray their party and the country. Of course, it might have been an exaggeration, but it was indeed a slap in the face. I will practice self-reflection and self-criticism. I will definitely talk some sense into these people and correct their wrong attitude. The people in the army should not have such an attitude. Once they have the incorrect way of thinking, it will be reflected in their behavior. The political commissar had a stern expression on his face. He must not ignore the problem just because the influence was not as big. Actually, the problem itself could cause potential harm. A small leak would sink a great ship. Okay, you are the political commissar, so this is your job. We will not intervene. Moreover, my suggestion is that you do not need to be in a hurry to carry out the correction. Perhaps, you can take advantage of this opportunity to see who are really worthy of promotion and who the real talents are. The more insignificant things are, the more you can tell the character of that person. After everything is over, you can do whatever you want. Lin Yuankang gave a suggestion to the political commissar. The political commissar pondered carefully. Elder Lin's considerations are very true. We shall do as you say. Comrade Xiaoqiao, you have worked hard. You should have a good rest. You are too polite. Good night, everyone. I will go back to rest. Xiao Nan kept silent throughout the whole conversation. After all, she had no right to interject. I will walk you to the dormitory. Zai Sheng stood up and walked away with Xiao Nan, not caring about the expression of Zai Yaowai and Lin Yuankang. When they were outside and staring at the sky full of stars, Xiao Nan said in a relaxed tone, "Brother Zai, do you think I have won or lost in today's battle?" Qiu Chenxi had an overwhelming advantage over her in terms of the number of people in her class. Without a doubt, you have won, and beautifully at that. Zai Sheng looked at Xiao Nan with bright eyes. He only had eyes for her, as if she was the one and only moon in the sky. He could only see her existence. Nan Nan, I am so proud of you. Honestly, do you really have no plans to be a teacher in the future? In the past, this had never crossed his mind, but this time, he realized that it was a good choice for Nan Nan to be a teacher. No. Xiao Nan, who had a faint smile on her face, turned serious at Zai Sheng's question. She refused without any slight hesitation. Why? Nan Nan did not seem to refuse because she did not want to be a teacher. Xiao Nan took a deep breath, looking desolate. Brother Zai, you seem to have forgotten about my family. Recently, I have been worried that even if I prove myself to Chief Zai and let him know of my hard work and abilities, he and Auntie Miao will give up on me because of my family. They may say that in this world, parents will never abandon their children, but it's different in my case. Ever since I was born, my mom has given up on me. This is nothing to me. What worries me the most is that my mom will continue to make unreasonable demands of me in order to satisfy my sister. Even if I stand firm against her and refuse to give in to her endless requests, given my mom's character, Xiao Nan felt bitterly disappointed at the things that Ding Jiyi did to her in her previous life. Chapter 520, Wet Temptation. Apart from sneering and smiling bitterly, Xiao Nan had no idea how she should respond. All her colleagues knew that as soon as the factory gave the employees their pay, her mother would be the first to arrive at the factory. At times, she would even go with her to the finance department to collect her pay, not leaving any money for her. Even when she became a tutor and earned extra money through doing English translation, her mother would take more than half of her pay, leaving her with a small amount of money, barely enough for her to lead a very simple life for the month. If she became a teacher, the salary would be paid directly through the wage slip. Given her mother's character, she would snatch the wage slip away from her. If she was ruthless enough to apply for another wage slip, her mother would definitely go to the school to create a fuss. She would scold her for abandoning her parents once she had the ability to earn money. For the past year, although her mother created a fuss at Pingcheng High School, she was not worried at all. Why? That was because she would only need to spend 3 years in Pingcheng High School before graduating and going to colleges in other cities. In that case, whatever trouble her mother had created, would be forgotten because of her departure. However, if she became a teacher at Pingcheng High School, the situation would be totally different. Xiaonan could not imagine how terrible it would be. She had enough of it. Because of her mother, people would give her weird stares and glances. There was a mixture of ridicule, indifference, sympathy, and gloating. As a teacher, one needs to have a good character and conduct to be a role model for the students. But given my family's situation, I can't be a teacher. With my mother around, if I have any sense with me, I will definitely refuse to be manipulated by her. However, my mom will certainly spread rumors or create a fuss at school. In a few months' time, all the teachers and students of the school will have the impression that I am a cold-blooded and ruthless scum who abandons her parents and refuses to provide for them. In the end, there will only be 3 possibilities. First, I surrender everything to my mom. As long as she is satisfied, she will not make life difficult for me. Second, being a teacher is secure employment. The school will transfer me to other undesirable positions so that I will not affect the school's reputation. Regardless, my mom will make trouble for me time and again, and there will not be an end to it. By then, my reputation will be in shatters. Third, I quit the job. No matter what, among all the 3 possibilities, none would turn out well. Since she knew that there would not be a good outcome, Xiaonan would never give Ding Jiyi the chance to make life difficult for her. Zai Sheng's heart ached for Xiaonan. What she said was beyond what others could have understood. One needed to go through it to be able to understand her despair. He wanted to tell Xiaonan that it was her groundless worries, that no matter how terrible Ding Jiyi was, as a mother, she would never do things to such an extent. However, after listening to Xiaonan's words, he felt as if Ding Jiyi had already done all these and had forced Xiaonan to desperation. In retaliation, Zai Sheng was very protective of Xiaonan. Nan, don't worry and don't be afraid. After we are married, leave me to deal with your family. Xiaonan smiled reluctantly. The point you want to drive across is still let's get married. Her single concern was that if she married Brother Zai, her mother might turn to Brother Zai for money. Given what happened with Chen Jun in her previous life, Xiaonan was worried that if her mother knew about her relationship with Zai Sheng, she might be capable of even more ridiculous deeds that were beyond Brother Zai's imagination. Don't think too much. You are tired. You should go back and have a good rest. Zai Sheng longed to embrace Xiaonan to let her know that he was right beside her, to tell her that he could share her burdens and he would be her pillar of support. He would not allow anyone to bully her. But at this moment, Zai Sheng was able to control his yearning and urge to embrace Xiaonan. Due to his protectiveness of Xiaonan, he was rational enough to stop himself from acting rashly. He wanted to protect Nan from any harm. What he did previously to get Ding Jiyi and Xiao Zijin to leave Pingcheng was only a temporary method. Before he could think of a way to completely resolve these problems for Nan, he should at least respect her opinions and stop creating trouble for her. Luckily, Zai Sheng was rational. Otherwise, Xiaonan would have another trouble right on her doorstep. Footsteps could be heard coming toward them. It sounded hurried and the person seemed to be running in their direction. Qiu Chenxi's skirt swayed along with the light breeze at night. Her long hair that was draped over her shoulder blew in the light breeze. Under the moonlight, Chiuchenxi seemed like an angel. Brothers I, Chiuchenxi ran breathlessly toward them. The weather was warm. Chiuchenxi, who ran hard, was perspiring profusely. As soon as she stopped, she could no longer feel the night breeze. In less than 10 seconds, her clothes were sticky with perspiration, plastered to her body. Thankfully, the quality of the clothes that Chiuchenxi bought was good enough. If not, the fabric might be thin and transparent when damp. But even so, the people who passed by would steal a few glances at Chiuchenxi. Is anything the matter? Zai Sheng asked coldly. Chiuchenxi took a deep breath and calmed herself down. She then took out a small handkerchief to wipe the perspiration on her face and forehead. Qiao Nan, I heard that you ended class very early today. I am sorry. I didn't expect that so many people would come to my class. Initially, I planned to share your burden and have half of the students each so that both of us could have an easy time. Who knows? Qiao Nan, I am really sorry. But in fact, this turned out quite well. I heard that you brought a lot of summer homework with you. You can finish your lesson earlier and have more time to do your own work. Qiao Nan, you are still young. I am older than you. I will definitely look out for you. Qiao Nan grinned. It's indeed very good. Thank you. Qiao Nan sounded very sincere. Chiuchenxi paused momentarily. Was Qiao Nan sincere in thanking her, or was she deliberately saying something else, trying to mock her? Comrade Chiu, I can understand that everyone likes to look pretty. Since Chiuchenxi could not understand, Qiao Nan continued on. But I hope that you can be more mindful about how you dress for different occasions. Brothers I, look at what Qiao Nan is saying. She sounds as if the large number of students who came to my class were there to look at how I dressed. Chiuchenxi looked stiff. She shot a look at Zai Sheng. There was a tacit understanding among all of them in this field that even though there might be something amiss, generally, nobody would spell it out in front of everybody and embarrass that person.